mentioned about time and space. You're just talking about time. Maybe I have a misunderstanding about it. I mean, well, time and space is like in the realm of phenomena, isn't it?
Yes.
So the phenomena can't tell us anything ultimately what I am.
Say that again, Stephen.
Is it fair to say, I'm going off piece what my question was, but
No,
my
my
understanding of time and space, I just think of it as kind of a realm that appears in something that's not local to time and space. I will not find myself. Where do I go to try and look for myself phenomenally? I can't, can I? Is that true, what I just said? I'm making sense.
Where do you go to?
If I'm trying to look for myself in the phenomena...
You can't find your... Absolutely, yes. Yes.
Time and space is phenomena.
Yeah, if you try to find yourself in time and space, you can't find yourself.
But nevertheless, there is something to time and space which appears in something that's not local to time and space.
That's absolutely true, yes.
Of which time and space itself is made out of something that's not local
absolutely
to time and
right.
space.
Yes. Yes.
Therefore, the time and space just falls apart because it pushes my mind to the edge and it just thinks, oh, right, well, I just can't, that's beyond my mind, thinking mind, which is in time and space again.
You're absolutely right, Stevie, but it's true. You look for yourself in the phenomenal realm, which means in time and space, and you can't find yourself anywhere. What you really are is, it's not outside of time and space, because there's no outside of that which has no dimensions. But as a concession to the idea of space, we can say it's outside time and space. Now, you might think, therefore, that you're doomed. Or how could you possibly connect with that realm if all you have is thought and perception? But that there is something in time and space that intersects with the eternal. In fact, there are two experiences. One is the experience we call now, and the other is the experience we call here. Now is where now partakes of both time and eternity. Now is the intersection between the horizontal line of time and the vertical line of being. That now is the point at which they intersect. So from the point of view of the line of time, now is just a moment in time. But the same now, from the point of view of the vertical dimension of being, is ever present, eternal. So in other words, the eternal shines in the mind as the experience that we call now. And that's why the now in the spiritual traditions is considered a portal. It's a hint in the finite mind of that which is prior to the finite mind. You could say the eternal leaves a trace of itself in the finite mind as the now. Everybody knows what the now is. Yeah? Well, that is the finite mind's access to eternity. The same is true of the experience here in relation to space. Have you noticed that just as it's always now, it's also always here? Have any of you ever been to a place that was not here? Have any of you ever been over there, for instance? It's like it's trying to experience then. Has anyone ever been to the place then? We conceptualize then, but no one's ever been there because it's always now. We conceptualize over there, a distance from us in space, but nobody has ever been there. Because wherever anybody is, it's here. And so here is the place, it's the equivalent in relation to perception, what I previously said about time in relation to thought. Here is the experience here, not the place here, the experience, because here is not a place in space. Here is an experience. The experience here is the place where the infinite intersects with our perceiving faculties, particularly the experience of sight. So from the point of view of perception, here is a place in space. From the point of view of reality, here is infinity, dimensionless. And they intersect at not the place, the experience we call here. That's why the here and now are so important in the spiritual traditions, that it is recognized that for the finite mind, the here and now is the portal through which the mind, as it were, passes out of itself into eternity.
I got lost in a bit of that, but
Sorry, Stevie.
I was trying to, my mind was coming up with witty comebacks, but it's hard to ask a question, particularly early on.
No, Stevie, you're doing well. Try to understand. Try to help me understand what it is you're trying to ask. Because
it was just
what
my
you said was
understanding
true.
of time and space. What you said earlier, it kind of, you said something, and I thought, maybe.
It's true. Let me go back to what you said, Stevie. You said that time and space appears in that which is beyond them or prior to them.
Well, I said time and space to me is like this now, like this felt sense. There are seemingly objects, there are sounds and whatever. I'm aware of it all.
Okay. Let me try
I'm just saying that's phenomena.
Yeah, I'm going to try and explain it a different way, Stevie. You rightly said that time and space appear in, you didn't use the word, but you meant appear in awareness, appear in that which is prior to the mind.
Yes.
So time and space appear in awareness. If you go to the experience of awareness, your current experience of being aware, that it has no dimensions. Yeah, that's what we experience when we're deeply asleep. When we're deeply asleep, there's no thought and perception. So the experience of deep sleep, there's no time or space. We're just having the experience of being aware, but being aware of nothing. So how do we reconcile this? Awareness has no dimensions, but time and space, whose dimensions are endless, appear in something that has no dimensions.
That's my question.
That's your question. I got it. Yeah. It's like Steve, when you have a dream at night, yeah, you take a journey across the country. Yeah, you drive the length of Britain. It takes you 3 weeks. Mm-hmm. So how much time and how much space does that dream take up in your mind?
Well, the answer is none.
None. And yet, from the point of view of you in the dream, you travel several hundred miles and it takes you 3 weeks. So that the space, the time and space in your dream don't take up any time or space in your waking state mind. Or consider the possibility that this waking state, the time and space that seem to be real in this waking state, don't take up any space in consciousness. So how is that possible? How could something that is of no dimensions expand and appear as the 4 dimensions of time and space? Well, consciousness puts on the goggles of thinking and perceiving. And in doing so, it refracts itself. Thinking refracts consciousness into 1 dimension of time, and perception refracts it into 3 dimensions of space. And that is our experience. If you don't think, there's no experience of time. If you take away all your perceptions, there's no experience of space. It's thought and perception that refract the eternal, infinite nature of consciousness and make it appear as time and space.
It's almost like a vision of enjoyment. In terms of, maybe I've hopped on here, but you go on a journey in a dream. Well, that relates just to this same thing. It's appearing in something not local to time and space.
Like a waking dream.
Therefore, there is no time and space. Also, you could say therefore, what I essentially am cannot be harmed by anything
that's
in time and
true.
space. Like the movie in the screen, you could have a massive explosion. It does nothing to the screen. Therefore, what I am is indestructible because I am beyond time and space.
Absolutely true.
What can you do?
Yes.
But But okay, so then I'm getting into theory now. But consciousness could think, well, I'll just stop here. Like I'll just be with myself, but it's almost like it seems to enjoy the adventure.
Well, it enjoys and suffers the adventure.
And sorry.
And suffers. It enjoys and suffers
in
the
time
adventure.
and space. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know.
Have I answered your question, Steve?
Yeah, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
But try to retain that idea or that image that what we experience here, what we experience, everything we experience in time and space is a refraction. That's all that's really here is the infinite. Our thinking and perceiving faculties refract the infinite and make it appear as the finite. So it's not that the infinite is somehow behind the finite. It's all there is to the finite. In other words, the finite is not really finite. There is nothing finite. The finite is an appearance of the infinite, and it's our thinking and perceiving faculties that create that appearance. And I know you understand that, but try to take that understanding into your heart and feel that. Feel that's what I mean by saying seeing through the apparent evidence of sense perception. It's not like seeing through it to the reality that lies behind it. There's nothing that lies behind this. This is the infinite. The infinite's not behind it. It is it. This is just how it appears when we look at it through the lens of perception.
This is how it is right now.
Yes, this is the perfect, whole, complete, infinite one. That's and it's very difficult to reconcile that, because obviously, if we take the evidence of thought and perception, it's far from perfect, and it would be inappropriate and disrespectful in the face of some things that are taking place on the earth now to say that it's perfect, whole, and complete. We have to be careful the way we about saying that, but at the same time, that all there is to this manifestation is the one infinite, dimensionless, perfect, unchangeable reality. And everything we experience is contained in potential in that dimensionless presence. And it's thought and perception that draws that potential out into manifestation. So everything is contained in this in potential, in this dimensionless presence. And our thinking and perceiving faculties, thought and perception, the finite mind, the subject-object relationship is the means by which that potential is drawn out of the infinite and made manifest in form. So our finite mind doesn't create this reality, but it does create the appearance of this reality. The reality is uncreated, it's eternal. But the way it appears depends on the finite mind that perceives it. So the world is both half created, half uncreated, as Wordsworth said, half perceived, half created. Created, its appearance is created, its reality is eternal. And the conjunction of the eternal reality, the infinite, and the activity of the finite mind, this conjunction of these two produces this appearance of the world. Isn't that amazing?
Well, just about. It's mind blowing to.
It's mind blowing.
That there
it's
is
mind-blowing.
this. That there is it that there's something rather than nothing. That is this. I can hear myself. I'm just, you know.
It is. It's mind blowing. Yeah. Yeah.
But it kind of could become more mind blowing if it's shared. There's many kind of channels, but like then I was just contemplating. I was just looking at you. I'm thinking, oh, I'm contemplating. I'm talking to someone that shares this reality.
Yeah.
I know I'm calling you as someone.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm getting lost again in separation. I'll leave it. Maybe tomorrow. I don't know. Right. Okay.